In February 2014, a flurry of various mobile phones were offered on eBay for around $1,000 more than identical phones of the same models. Why? One more time, in February 2014, a flurry of various mobile phones were offered on eBay for around $1,000 more than identical phones of the same models. Why?
So they're identical, so this isn't that, like, you know, the keyboard spells out like fart or something. They're identical.
I like how that was your go-to for what the...
Wait, like there'd be a misprint on them.
No, these are identical.
So I'm clearly not very good at knowing when my answers are correct and when they're not. So I'm not trying to do another false positive, but I do think I know it. So
all right.
Does it have to do with an app?
It does. So, Annie, I will ask you to sit out for this one, having given several of my clues in one word there to Jeff and Jenny.
I was the perfect age to care about this thing a lot.
There are limited edition apps which only sell so many units and then it stops. So was a company provided a phone with an app on that was a limited edition.
Was this when like iTunes put out U2's album as standard on all their iTunes, and you had to buy? They were buying one without the album on it.
Oh no! But I know someone who still has that on their phone and cannot get rid of it. Because there's a web page you can go to have it removed from your Apple account, but that doesn't work with like two-factor authentication. So unless you did that in like the first 6 months, you cannot remove it from your music library. It's still there. It just follows him from phone to phone to phone.
One of my favourite online memes is someone's created a mock-up, a picture of Bono sneaking into someone's room late at night with a vinyl collection and inserting the album. And it's like, if you don't own iTunes, here's how we're doing it. I'm thinking there's a terrible world which we do exist in where there was a limited edition phone years ago from Nokia where
capitalism, I think is the
yes, there we go. Yes,
scarcity.
Where you could pay for a really expensive phone, and the idea was it was the rich person's lazy man phone, and you got this phone. It was limited edition, and you rang it, and there was like an operator on the other end of the phone that was there to help you with whatever you wanted. So I can't help think, it's not that app that cost £1 million just for the sake of it to prove how rich you were, was it? And it was on the phone.
In this case, no, it was a regular phone. They were paying about $1,500 for a phone that should have been going for about $500.
So it was like, I've never heard of this, but it was you know when you used to text any question to a number, but they had like a personal person just for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a couple of concierge apps, I think, on various phones, and one that just had a magic concierge button where frankly, if you've got that amount of money, you probably already have a personal assistant, so you don't need a magic concierge app. Amazon's tablets had that for a while. If you needed customer support on it for something with your Amazon account, they just had a magic button that would video call someone to help you set up your device. But this is not that. This is an app.
An app that's worth $1,000.
It wasn't officially limited edition. At least it wasn't sold as that.
There was a mistake in like one version of the app, and it got updated. So like these have the old version on it, where in the app it spells out fart, and and that's what you're paying the extra $1,000 for.
The app wasn't available anymore. It had been removed.
What got taken down in 2014?
Is it your Emojili app, Tom?
Actually, that is about the right date. I can't remember when Emojili was. I set up a thing with a friend that was a emoji-only messenger about then, and never build an app. It's a terrible, terrible idea. It was nothing but customer support hassle. We made no money from it. It was just a complete pain in the ass. We did shut that down, but we also shut down all the back-end systems that went with it, so it wouldn't have worked anymore. And I suspect this is either something you remember the news story about or you don't.
I know you haven't said an actual brand of phone. You just said phone, smartphone. I'm thinking, is it Apple specific? Is it iPhone or is it Android?
iPhone, Android. I think it was available on both, but it wouldn't really matter at this point.
Gosh.
No, Annie, they've set it up. You tap it into the goal.
Are you ready? No,
oh no, I feel like we're close. Another minute, we might get there.
All right, you're very close. I'll give you one more. It is a 2014 craze that then went away.
It's not like the app of it's like a virtual Tamagotchi or something, is it?
Annie, tap it home.
Flappy Bird.
Correct.
You can't get Flappy Bird anymore?
Oh no, you're so late to this news. I'm so sorry. This is how you had to find out.
How can you... What? Why isn't Flappy Bird still going? What?
Yeah, his name was Dong Gwyn. He felt guilty that he was earning $50,000 a day on something that people were finding so addictive that it was affecting their lives. So with a day's notice, he said, I'm taking the app away. I'm removing it from sale. 10 million people downloaded the game, and then it vanished. And just for a brief period in 2014, people put their phones on eBay and sold them because that phone still had Flappy Bird.
Was there ever like a crowned Flappy Bird champion? Who was the winner of Flappy Bird? Who had the high score? Who had the all-time high score on Flappy Bird? Is that a thing?
I don't know. I know it went back on sale because immediately there were 1,000 clones of it. Like, he was just using basically off-the-shelf assets. The game is not a new game mechanic. It had existed for ages. He just happened to hit a magic formula at the right time. So after 1,000 people cloned it, he put the original back up. My favourite variant, by the way, is Flappy Wordle. Or Flappy Birdle, where you have to solve a Wordle, but your key presses cause the bird to flap. So it is this horrible nightmare of a game that I got to enough points to get past some milestones, just like, I'm never touching that again.
If you were 15 when this happened, then this is your truth.
I mean,
This is like a traumatic event.
I'm sorry, that was a sentence that just made me age like the guy at the end of Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade. Just dust. Just absolute withering dust. Thank you.
You should boot me. You should banish me for this.
And thank you to our producer. The Flappy Bird world record is 9,813 points.
What? No way. Mine was like 23. What?
like, props to him for giving it all up, though. Like, he's like the Jonas Salk of apps.
I don't get that reference. Should I get that reference?
Sorry. I'm
You're too old, Tom.
No, definitely not. I might be wrong. A producer can check me, but I believe Jonas Salk was the person who patented the polio vaccine and then gave it away for free.
They have a polio vaccine now, guys. Yay. Tom's just learning about this.
Yeah, I just learned about Flappy
patronize
Bird.
me.
And Tom just learned that there is a vaccine for polio.
She's like, yes.
Finally, I'm getting rid of this iron lung.
Yes, the mobile phones. Thank you, youngsters. The mobile phones were put on the electronic auction site eBay for £1,000 because they contained Flappy Bird.
Tom, you know the Beatles split up, right?